smoky beef, slow cooked beef. I have put my pressure cooker on saute. If you're not using a pressure cooker, you'll just be using a casserole or something that you can put in the oven or on the stove top. So we will just put in about a tablespoon of vegetable oil. This is about 650 grams of braising steak. I've done the same as I always do with all my meat. I had this uncovered in the fridge overnight. I'm actually just going to cut it into two. I am going to generously season these with salt. I've got 2 garlic cloves that I'm keeping whole and just peeling. As usual, this is very much an experimental dish. I know what I want. I've got it in my head. I want that sort of Texan pulled smoky barbecue meat, and I'm going to try and achieve it in my kitchen without a barbecue or a smoker. Okay, I can hear this. There we go. I want a really good colour on these. So I'm just doing 2 at a time. Don't overcrowd your pan. Nice bit of colour. Flip it over. That's all browned, all pieces. This bit is optional, but I am going to add just a little splash of whiskey to help with the deglazing the bottom of the pan, and also obviously with flavour. The whiskey, just to be safe, you can cook it off for a minute. I'm going to put in those resting juices. Next going in, this is about 100 grams of barbecue sauce, whatever your favourite barbecue sauce is. I've used Sweet Baby Ray's. I've got 200 ml of beef stock, that's going in. I've got 2 whole garlic cloves, they're going in. And for a little extra smoky hit, I've got this fantastic ingredient, liquid smoke. But it's strong stuff, so I'm just going to put a couple of drops in. I can add more after the pressure cook if I want it. Season it with some pepper. Turn the saute function off. Put the lid on. Set it to pressure cook 50 minutes. So I will leave that now for 50 minutes. If you are cooking this, if you're cooking it, you would preheat an oven to 160 degrees, put a lid on your casserole in which you've got all your ingredients, and cook that probably for close to 2 hours, but you can check it. Or you can cook it on a stove top, again, with a lid on a low heat, and that would probably take about 2 hours. I'll see you in 50 minutes. This came to the end of its 50-minute cooking time, and then it's taken about 20 minutes for the pressure to naturally release. I'm going to take the lid off. Ooh. Oh, that's lovely and soft. I'm going to remove the beef, but using 2 forks, you can now just shred. For me personally, I would probably like to do this with beef cheek, but I wanted to use a cut of meat that I know is easily available, so this was braising steak. I'm just going to, on the saute function, just let that sauce bubble for 5 minutes. I'm saving mine for later, so I'm going to put it in a bowl. I'm going to pour the sauce over. That will keep it nice and moist. And just set that aside to cool. Oh God, that smells so good. Add more smoke if you want. I don't think it needs more smoke. So here is the beef I made earlier. I have actually added about half a teaspoon of the liquid smoke to really pump up that smokiness. I have put a little bit aside in a separate bowl that's in the fridge for another recipe that I'm going to do later in the week. So this is this beautiful smoky barbecue style beef that hasn't seen a barbecue and that hasn't seen a smoker. It's fantastic. Let's talk about the baked potatoes. These are, you can see they're covered in salt. They're lovely and soft. These little ones only took 30 minutes at 220 degrees. You can scrape off the excess salt if you want. It's just a lovely crispy skin. but you can eat. I've taken a few little halves of the potatoes. I've got the beef sauce, to which I added about half a teaspoon of the liquid smoke because I want it lovely and smoky, and I'm going to spoon that over these potatoes. No veg here tonight. And then I've got some of my cowboy candy is going to go on top. I've got some of my very small, teeny tiny tomatoes, which I've chopped very small. I've also got some spring onions. Here's my barbecue smoky beef. Do you want me to taste it? Oh, that is everything I wanted. I might just put a tiny bit of finishing salt on and some pepper. So bloody good.